This man walked into a fancy restaurant wearing an old jacket and dusty boots. The manager looked at him in disgust and said, "We don't serve trash here, go somewhere else." But what no one knew was that this man was actually the owner. A successful black CEO who had built this restaurant from nothing. Tonight, he wasn't here for dinner. He was here to uncover the truth. Because someone inside was stealing from his people, and he was about to find out who. Inside the restaurant, the place was busy, rich customers, loud laughter, expensive suits everywhere. Behind the bar, Sarah, a tired waitress working her 5th double shift, saw everything. She noticed the manager, Derek, yelling at the man in the worn jacket. He looked poor, maybe homeless. But Sarah's heart didn't judge, she'd seen struggle before. She walked up with a smile and said, "Sir, would you like something to eat?" He quietly asked, "Just water and fries, please. That's all I can afford." Sarah could have ignored him. She could have walked away like everyone else. But instead she saw something in his eyes, exhaustion, maybe pain, something she understood too well. She smiled softly. "You know what? The kitchen made extra burgers tonight. They'll go to waste if no one eats them. How about one on the house?" He looked shocked. "I can't pay you." "It's okay," she said gently. "Everyone who walks through that door deserves to be treated like they matter." For a moment, the man couldn't speak. His throat tightened. He only nodded, his eyes shining with emotion. But what neither of them knew, that single act of kindness would change both their lives forever. Behind the counter, Derek, the manager, watched everything. His face turned red. He stormed towards Sarah and whispered angrily, "What did you just do? That's a $24 burger." "It was going to be thrown out," Sarah replied calmly. "It's food waste." "This isn't a soup kitchen," he snapped. "It's coming out of your tips tonight." Sarah's lips trembled for a second, but she didn't fight back. "Fine," she said quietly. Then she went back to work, still smiling for her customers, even though her heart was breaking. At the bar, the man, the CEO, had heard everything. Every word. He clenched his fist under the counter. She had just sacrificed her pay to feed a stranger. And the man who managed his restaurant had punished her for kindness. In that moment, he made a silent promise. "I'll find out what's really going on here." Later that night, when the restaurant closed, Derek gathered everyone to count tips. They dropped their money into a glass jar. Sarah, Emma, Jason, Rebecca. Derek turned his back while counting, his hands moving fast. "Slow night," he said. "Total tips, $835. Sarah knew that was wrong. The restaurant had been full for hours. Her tables alone had tipped more than 200. But she stayed quiet, just like always. She opened her small envelope, $63. 6 hours of work. When everyone left, she took out an old manila envelope from her locker. On it, she had written Liam's college fund. Inside were dozens of old receipts, napkins, and notes. On each, she had written how much she earned, and how much she was paid. 40-8 nights. 48 lies. She added another note. Thursday, November 7th. I made $280. Derek gave me $63. Then she put it back and left, her tired eyes full of quiet pain. The CEO, still undercover, watched her from outside. He saw the truth. His staff wasn't lazy or ungrateful. They were being robbed by the man he had trusted the most. That night, he went home, opened his father's old work jacket, the same one he wore when he built the first restaurant, and whispered, "I'm sorry, Dad. I let this happen, but not anymore." The next day, he stood in front of the mirror, still wearing that old brown jacket. Gone was the rich businessman. Now, he looked like an ordinary worker, the kind of man Derek would ignore. He took a deep breath and said, "You learn who people really are when they think you're nobody." That night, he returned to the restaurant again, the same jacket, same old boots. Derek didn't even recognize him. Sarah smiled as she saw him again. Welcome back. Long week? Asterisk greater than... Yeah, he said softly. Long week. Asterisk, and as she took his order, fries and water again, Derek's eyes followed her from across the room, already angry that she was talking to the broke guy again. Asterisk, but tonight, something different was about to happen. The CEO wasn't here just to eat. He was here to expose the truth. Because soon what he would discover in that back office would not only destroy Derek's career, it would change every life in that restaurant forever. End of Part 1 cliffhanger asterisk. What will happen when the CEO uncovers the evidence? Will he reveal himself? And what will happen to Sarah? Asterisk, stay tuned for Part 2.